Hello, Joe and new colleagues. I'm Bob Rollins. I work with USACF, that's the U.S. Africa Children's Fellowship, a small NGO based in Brooklyn, New York. And our main work has been establishing libraries. Picture one in South Africa. And we've been doing that in Zimbabwe, South Africa, Ghana, Sierra Leone, and other countries. Also providing supplies to Syrian refugees in Jordan. About 5 years ago, I launched the Bridge Project to address the well known digital divide, especially this unfair disparity around access to educational resources such as Wikipedia, Khan Academy, and so much more. Let me show you this website, which you might already know. It's called OER2Go, OER for Open Education Resources. And this is a collection of modules that are available to download. They're like snapshots of websites, saved and downloadable. As I go through, take note of Blockly Games and Book Dash. And you can see this is a collection of textbooks. Many of these are on the digital library that I'll show you in a while. There's Khan Academy, music theory, TED Talks, so much more. Also, you'll notice that they have several different languages. Here's some of the Spanish content, Khan Academy in Spanish. And let's take a look at the website of World Possible. They are an NGO down in Los Angeles, and they have put together a device called a Rachel. And as you can see, a Rachel is about 500 US dollars. It's about the size of a dinner plate, and it does two things. It's a large hard drive, 500 gigabytes or a terabyte, and it's also creates a Wi-Fi hotspot. And you can learn more about it at this website. And when I would buy Rachel's from World Possible and take them into computer labs at schools in Africa with defunct computers, well, if a computer can have a Wi Fi connection or a Wi Fi connection, then it can connect to a Rachel and access all of that content. I began collaborating with my colleague Manning Sutton, who's assembling and deploying digital libraries with French content in Senegal, not using a Rachel server, but using a Raspberry Pi computer. You can learn a lot more about it from the raspberrypi.org site. You can see this is a very small, inexpensive computer. So on the hardware side, when we're putting together a digital library, we need this Raspberry Pi. You can see it's about $52 US. And all of the content is on it's a 128 gigabyte chip. For some reason, the one in the picture is 256, but you get the idea, it's 20 US. So for the schools that we're deploying digital libraries at in Ghana that have reliable electricity, these are our hardware costs for the hub, just the Raspberry Pi and the chip. We also put together a package that we call the Bridge Pi for places that don't have reliable electricity and where solar is best. So we have a plastic case, which you can see is about 14 US, and then a charger for about 30 US, and a solar cell for about $20 US. We put these together. You can see it there on the screen. The Pi, the charger, and the solar. Here's another view of the different components. And that's Manning on the left and me on the right, putting together a big batch a year and a half ago before we headed overseas. And now let's take a look at the software side. We have one of the Bridge Pies connected to the internet. You can access it as a demo at bit.ly/BridgePie. It's all customizable and can be organized however the user wants. And part of our work is also training the people in country to set up their digital library the way they want, to delete things they don't want, to add things. Because this is being developed for a project in Uganda, we have I added a lot of resources um, from Uganda. You can see this list of textbooks. So if somebody wanted access to the tech and design textbook, for example, you can see here it is put out by the government, and it's the full textbook. Also added all the distance learning packets that the government put out during the COVID lockdown. Just pick one, for example, and show you. And all of these you can see online, like I said. Here's AET's material, the lead practitioner program. And we set it up so that not only can people read about the materials that AET has put together for this excellent program, but they can also use it to fill out the different forms and the portfolio materials electronically. Also, would love to show you the Speak Up program that AET put together and used in South Sudan. It's fantastic, but I'm trying to keep this short. Um, I'd love to show you Khan Academy if you don't know it. I'll take a second to show you Blockly Games, Learning Coding. Just an incredible module where kids learn how to code by putting these different the pieces come together. At first they just do it like this. See how that doesn't fit, and then but the game goes on and they learn coding. It's fantastic. Let's go back to the menu. I also added some books for adults, and there's millions of titles available online that can be added. It's up to user. Wikipedia, chess, cartoons, entire um, medical encyclopedias and libraries. These resources are excellent. I believe they're available in Espanol también. Yeah. It's important for us. We want this to be not just something that's assembled in Europe or in the US, but that's something that's as local as possible with as much local ownership as possible. Here we are at a school outside of Soweto in South Africa. Um, and that's my colleague Manning showing a teacher and the headmistress um, how to build a Bridge Pie because we were going to have the grade 7 students, the grade 7 learners, assemble them. So first we showed the administration and we taught the teachers how to do it. And the teachers, those are teachers on the right, showed their kids how to do it. We also always make a special emphasis to have girls and women in the front. And here you can see a few other pictures from that build day. And also, we train the students as a tech team to be available to help with troubleshooting and to help support the other kids and the teachers. And here's a great photo, which I love, of the mighty tech team. And lastly, here's a picture of great success. This is in rural Zim, and you can see these grade 6 students are assembling about, I think we did 8 Bridge Pies that day. And now, since lockdown, these Bridge Pies are being used, some of them, in our new program where we bring the digital library to a few churches on Sundays and to a few urban areas to be shared during the week. Thank you. Thank you for your interest. I'd be happy to discuss things further. And you have my email. It's bob.rollins@usacf.net. And my WhatsApp is 1 510 919 8968. Thank you.